Hi, I'm Scott Sheldon, and welcome to this episode of Winegazer. Thank you so much for tuning in. So for this episode, we're going to take a look at two red blends coming from Washington State. Some people refer to this category as Bordeaux blends from Washington. While there are some similarities, there are also some differences. One of the similarities, they do use the 5 permittable grapes that they can use in Bordeaux, being Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. But at times, these winemakers will also use Syrah and other grapes into the mix. And other differences, old world versus new world. We have a couple thousand years of, winemaking history in Bordeaux, and they also have some more stringent laws that they have to adhere to regarding winemaking. Washington, not so much so. So with that being said, let's bring out the first wine. So, coming from Hedges Family Estate, 2009 Red Mountain Blend, rolls in at $20 US, 13.5% alcohol. So let's break down the blend. We have 38% Cabernet Sauvignon, 31% Merlot, 22% Syrah, 9% Cabernet Franc. For those of you keeping score at home, the breakdown of the oak, we got 37% French, 60% American, and 3% Hungarian. 55% neutral, 45% new, about a year in barrel aging. Pete Hedges, he's the winemaker over there. All this fruit's coming from the Red Mountain AVA. Very excited to try it. These wines, I've been decanting them for about an hour and a half, and let's give them a pour. Got the little vino decanter right there for you. Easy to clean, low maintenance, I love it. So Red Mountain AVA is one of the smaller AVAs in the country. It's only about 4,000 acres of south-facing slopes of fruit. And it's in the eastern part of the Yakima Valley, which is in eastern Washington State. It's like over 3 hours southeast of Seattle, a desert climate. They only get like 5 to 7 inches of rainfall a year on average. At times, temperatures spike over 100 degrees. On the flip side, they do have some, times of year where they have freezing temperatures, and interesting soil composition as well. They have this, I think it's like 18,000 years ago, they had glacial floods that rolled in from Idaho and Montana, and in their wake, they left like this dusty high pH soil and this mixed debris. And the grapes there, this is the foundation, the soil for these vines, and the grapes that you'll find there, they're really small, highly concentrated flavors, thick skin, and having to survive those harsh climates. So interesting stuff. Let me give you a little shot of the color. Nice dark, deep purple, opaque color. Let's get the smell. So, dark concentrated fruit on the nose. You got some pencil lead, some graphite coming through. Wow, this wine is meaty too. It's like that gamey, jerky flavor to it. Some more nuances. And some anise, that licorice kind of component coming through. You got some leather. Really interesting nose on this wine. I like it. Let's give it a taste. Wonderful dark fruit, dark cherries, dark blackberries again on the palate. But what strikes me on this wine is the minerality. A lot of minerality, no doubt, coming from that soil in Red Mountain. It's got a nice soft acidity, nice round tannins to this wine. Still a little bit young though. I think this wine could really 2 to 3 years could lay down to really mellow it out and get those some of those nuances shining through. Oh, this minerality is just wonderful in this wine. I mean, definitely it would be a tremendous food wine, but it does need some food because I can feel some of those tannins right now. And what's interesting is Christoph Hedges over there at Hedges Family Estate. He was interviewed with Gary Vaynerchuk a while back on Sirius Radio on his Wine and Web show. And you know, they love wine critics, they love wine writers, they love wine reviewers over at Hedges, but they hate the point system, you know, that 100-point rating system for wine. And so much so that they actually created something called Scorevolution, a website where you can go and sign a petition to stop the 100-point rating system entirely. So interesting stuff. So in respect to that, respect to you, Christoph, I will not be scoring either of these wines on the show today. This wine, I think you could go 20 years aging, no problem. And I definitely recommend checking it out. I like what's going on the aromas, on the palate. It's really a beautiful wine. So, great start to the show. Let's shuffle some things around and get ready for wine number 2. All right. So, wine number 2 coming from Col Solar. It's a 2007 red blend coming from the Columbia Valley AVA. 14% alcohol, $75 US. The blend, 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, 20% Merlot, 5% Cabernet Franc. The oak composition, 85% French oak, 15% American New Oak. A third of these grapes coming also from the Red Mountain AVA. And they consider this over at Col Solar, 2007 being a benchmark as what other vintages from Col Solar should be compared to. So this is a great one for us to try. So let's give it a pour. Yes, also another decanter to feast your eyes on. A little bit nerdy, kind of like a beaker. I love it. So let's talk about Col Solar for a minute. It's very interesting because it's actually like a joint venture between the oldest wine company in Washington State, being Chateau Saint Michel, and Piero Antinori and the Antinori family. They have over 600 years of winemaking experience in Tuscany. And so, you know, they just wanted to basically make Cabernet Sauvignon based blends. For some years, you know, to keep that consistent flavor profile that they're looking for, they'll also blend in Petit Verdot or Malbec or even Syrah again to get that profile that they want to try to achieve year in and year out, depending upon what, you know, the vineyards are giving them. So, dark color. Look at that. That is like Hannibal Lecter dark right there. Damn. Let's give it a smell. So you have some wonderful like coffee, cappuccino aromas coming through is the first thing that catches my nose. You got some vanilla, some spices from the oak for sure. Nice, dark, concentrated fruit. Again, that's what we're expecting on the aroma here, on the nose. There's also like a eucalyptus kind of menthol component coming through right in the background. It's really nice, really intriguing nose on this wine. Let's give it a taste. Wow, this is really good. Beautiful chocolate flavors mixed with deep, dark, concentrated fruit. Wow. That is just wonderful. Let's give it another taste. So you got some coconut coming through as well to play with the dark fruit and the chocolate. Some nice spice. Beautiful, beautiful, velvety, silky mouthfeel, and the finish on this wine is just going. It's just going. It's wonderful. Wow. Mid palate is strong. It's intense. There's not a weak spot to me on the palate on this wine. Again, I'm not going to rank it up score-wise. I'm not going to give it a number today. I would say that this wine is incredible, though. You definitely have to check out Col Solar, and you have to check out Hedges Family Estate as well. Both of these wines are dynamite. It's a great region to explore. Let's give it another taste. Wow. It's just delicious. So I'd like to hear from you. How do you feel on this whole, 100-point scoring system? Should we attach a number to what we're doing here? Do you like just hearing some descriptions, some history about the wine, or do you feel compelled to have somebody quantify it, with a number to attach onto that description of, that creative description of what somebody's feeling emotionally about the wine? Does it ruin it? Does it make it better? Does it help you, as a wine shopper, to have this number to go by? I'm really interested to hear your feedback on this. I really am. I know it can be a hot topic here and there, but I really want to know. So I'd like to thank Col Solar, Hedges Family Estate, for sending in these wines to be on the show, for helping us understand this area in eastern Washington that's just making incredible wines. I urge you to check out both of these wineries, hedgesfamilyestate.com. I think it's colsolar.com. I'm going to look at the link when I'm done here. I'm not 100% sure, but delicious wines, and again, check them out. So, till next time, hope you enjoyed the show. Cheers.